guys.
I'll ask that specific question because it's something we haven't mentioned yet.
Please do it. Go ahead.
Sean McDermott is out of Buffalo. It becomes the 10th job open this cycle. 4 have been hired and filled. 6 are still open, but Sean McDermott is now a potential head coach candidate. The Browns obviously have not had him as an interview. We just got fired. Dustin, I know you also follow Buffalo equally as close.
Season ticket holder.
Yeah.
Do you think Sean McDermott will
bro?
find his way into the mix for the Browns head coaching job, or do you think that's a no-go from the start, considering some other teams with better rosters and closer to winning again?
I mean, you could go coach Lamar Jackson.
If you're who?
McDermott?
You sure everybody's going to want McDermott? He could win with Josh Allen. Why is he a hot commodity?
This is the Dustin time to talk.
Right.
Go ahead.
Kill his mic. Dustin,
Kill his
what do you
mic.
think
Kill my mic.
about Sean McDermott? Would he ever be possible to come to Cleveland, or do you think that is just a far-fetched idea?
I think Sean's a good football coach. I think he definitely at the end of this thing probably took a little more heat than he should have. I think there were worse coaching jobs by him earlier in his coaching career in Buffalo as opposed to this year. I mean, this year, honestly, I love Josh Allen, and he is the GOAT in our household.
Right, I like that.
You know,
where I come in our space.
We love him, but he didn't play well in that game. You know, he tried to be a hero, probably had to be a hero, and so at the end of the day, the 5 turnovers, it doomed him, and then the dude loses his job. He's going to coach again. He'll be a head coach this year, I guarantee you. I mean, the guy won 109 games and lost 47. I know he had Josh Allen, but it's still hard to win a lot of games. I mean, he won a ton of games. He was 8-8 in the playoffs, which obviously we know. You can't win an AFC championship and go to the Super Bowl with Josh Allen, then you get fired.
You know what I don't
But they gave him a lot of opportunities.
You
know what I don't like? Come to Cleveland though.
Would he come to Cleveland, or would I look at him in Cleveland?
He was a finalist in 2017, and some people in the building that are still here were big fans. Do you think that's completely irrelevant now to their coaching search?
No, of course it's relevant. These people don't change their minds. I mean, if they had an idea about this guy, I'm sure that it's still probably there, and they remember the interview process and that whole thing. He should 100% be in play for the Browns. Would he want to come here? I don't know. I mean, you just went from coaching an MVP quarterback to now you got to go coach a team where you don't even know who your quarterback is. Now, maybe you want that challenge. Maybe you're interested in the opportunity of picking another quarterback and trying to develop that guy. That's up to him. I think there's better opportunities for him, you know.
You're right, Dustin. That the thing that hits a little bit different is how the Browns got messed up a little bit is there's 3 jobs and 3 marquee jobs. All right, good job, Crystal Ball.
We've never seen it. We've never seen an offseason like this.
3 marquee jobs come open. The Ravens come open, and you got Lamar Jackson. The Steelers come open, and they have the stability and the cachet, and you know you're gonna get a long track record to do something. And now the Bills job comes open, and you have Josh Allen. So those 3 jobs right there are diluting the pool. Guys that weren't probably going to get a job or be a first-time head coach this cycle are definitely being pushed up the list because you have these jobs that are awesome. Like you keep getting these other jobs, and that's why I believe they took Stefanski off the board.
Put that up there one more time. The last big board.
And by the way, these are not rankings. These are just.
No, I know, but I'm going to give you a ranking real fast as you put it up there because there are 2 teams that are similar, and it's Cleveland and Arizona, and all the other teams have more. They're more lucrative, if you will. Vegas is going to have the number 1 pick. Buffalo's got an MVP quarterback. Pittsburgh stability, great franchise, model franchise. Baltimore, model franchise, MVP at quarterback. Those Arizona and Cleveland, put them to the side.
Facts.
They're going to have to wait and figure out what they're going to do because those other teams are all getting the better candidates.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like Tyvis, when you see how it looks, those 4 teams got their joints right.
Shout out to Half and Coach Saleh.
Halfley did his
2-year guys.
Saleh took that immediately. Now you got to look at some of these first-time head coaches. That is one of the reasons why they're bringing those guys in for second interviews is because even a guy like Mike McDaniel might slip up and get a job. Like I got a 30% chance I could either be with the Ravens or the Bills. And I know I got offense. I know what I do with the offense. So
worst case scenario, he could take an OC job. He could go with Robert Saleh and be the OC there because they work together in San Fran.
I would think McDaniel and McDermott are both going to get head coaching jobs. I would think.
If they want it. If they want
Yeah, well, we don't know about McDermott. Obviously, McDaniel does because he's interviewing.
Oh yeah.
Wonder if McDermott wants to go back with Harbaugh as a DC
I mean, he could.
in New York.
But he's probably going to get a head coaching job, I would think.
If he wants.
Yeah.
I think Baltimore and Pittsburgh just got McDermott written all over it. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers hired Brian Flores.
why have we not heard his name at all?
He is
because
interviewing with
he
Pittsburgh.
sued the NFL.
No,
and
but
he won.
Wait, but he is interviewing for the Pittsburgh job.
He
It's the only
sued the
head coach
NFL.
interview.
I
and he
understand
won.
that. But G said, why haven't you heard his name? That obviously is a big factor. But Pittsburgh is interviewing him for the job. What's that, Mike?
I think that's the only place that has requested a head coach interview with
Right.
Flores. Yeah.
Yeah, he's cut from that Tomlin cloth. Very
I
similar.
mean, that's his cousin. That they look the.
But why fire Tomlin?
Tomlin
They didn't fire Tomlin.
It was a mutual thing, dude.
Why step down? Why try?
He ain't got no time for it no more. He did it.
Did you
Dustin
see,
made a good point on bring up what you said.
Which part?
What the Bills should do.
Oh, I think the Bills should trade for Mike Tomlin. If I'm Buffalo, I'm offering whatever.
Sean King said the Raiders should give up the first pick of the draft.
I mean, I think Tomlin's that valuable,
Yeah.
and you already have your franchise quarterback
right.
in Buffalo.
That's why I wouldn't do it if I were the Raiders. But if Buffalo,
now listen, Buffalo still needs like a big time receiver.
Yeah.
They need some help on the offensive line. They could use some more. Like they could probably use a couple of receivers, but they also need a head coach that the team can rally around. And Tomlin for a first round pick, to me, that quells all that.
If I'm Buffalo, like you know me, guys, I'm always player. But I never would think to trade for a coach. But I actually like this. And if I were Buffalo, I would, or if I were Baltimore. Now I don't think that's going to happen with Tomlin. But
no, they would never trade him.
if I were Buffalo, I would trade for him, and then I'd go trade for A.J. Brown too. Because A.J. Brown be a happy camper playing in Buffalo.
Yeah, he actually would.
Yeah.
See the difference, and this goes back to why I say Schwartz, because you got to look at it like this. Now, what you got these other jobs, if you Shieldhouse, or even if you Udinsky, and you're offensive-minded coach, you look at a few of those jobs out here from offensive-minded teams with guys that are already MVPs. You looking around like, I wasn't going to get the Ravens job. I didn't think I was going to get it. Now, it's an opportunity. I didn't see that. Now, Josh Allen available. I didn't see that. So if you're looking at it, and let's just be clear, I'm a Browns fan, and go Browns, but there's levels to this thing. Like I always tell you, if they got those over there, so the Browns can't be playing around. You can't be sitting here holding the bag when all of a sudden now your number one or number two candidates is moving around and they take them jobs, and now you get we got Monken
But so
or
you
Jesse
rush into
Minter.
candidate four?
Well, no. What I'm saying is, I can't be slowful to the party. You got to know where you're at.
So you're saying in theory, and this has not been reported. I'm just throwing this out there. If you're Shieldhouse or Udinsky, you may now see Buffalo open and say, I'm not going to sign with Cleveland or Arizona or somewhere else until I at least find out if they have interest in it.
I don't think any, the coaches that have taken other jobs outside of Harbaugh, they must have known they weren't getting these other, because the three best jobs are still available.
That's hot potato.
So I think everybody that could be a coach would want to be with one of those three teams as a first choice.
And it kind of played out where these just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, especially Baltimore and Buffalo.
Yeah, just came out of nowhere.
Pittsburgh is a great team, but they don't have a great quarterback situation, and you follow. But the other two, you have two of the three best, maybe two best quarterbacks in the league.
Tomlin could go to the Super Bowl next year
with Buffalo, 100%. You go coach Buffalo or Baltimore, you go to the Super Bowl next year.
If you
100%.
If you Shieldhouse, you a passing game coordinator. You
if
already
Shieldhouse, I'm going Buffalo or Baltimore.
You cooking up, right? You cooking up with you cut, copy, and pasting plays right now.
Right, but Buffalo and Baltimore, because they're on the verge of winning, may be more likely to hire an experienced coach, where the Browns may be more likely to take a chance on a coach who doesn't have experience,
but
they're not as close to winning.
But also, they both know that they have the quarterback, so they have to appease to the quarterback.
True.
So they got to go get an offensive-minded guy.
Right.
Those are the best candidates for offensive-minded guys.
And the floor is there.
It's like Mike McDaniel, Shieldhouse, and Udinski?
Yeah.
Udinski.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 top
Dustin,
offensive-minded
My
guys.
son wants
Go
Daboll.
ahead.
My son wants Daboll. He remembers
At
when
Buffalo.
Daboll was in Buffalo. Allen really liked him.
Yeah.
And
I could see that.
That was the first thing out of his mouth when McDermott got fired. He's like, "Oh, please, Daboll."
I
like,
could
"All
see
right."
that. It obviously didn't
cooked
end
up
well
with
with the Giants, but
cooked up
I
with
could
him.
definitely see that.
Was it Pittsburgh? Who interviewed? Somebody just interviewed Mike McCarthy. Was it Pittsburgh?
I don't remember.
Pittsburgh did, yes.
It was Pittsburgh?
I haven't heard his. Now I think this is like.
I'd be shocked if they hired
real-time
McCarthy.
I don't
that
want
I've
no
seen.
parts of that. I'm cool with that.
You know how we did
Everybody
which
hates
candidate
McCarthy.
do we not want for the
cool.
Browns
Yeah.
on Friday?
Cool.
I would love McCarthy to go to Pittsburgh.
Oh, I'm about to
Like,
say.
Oh, yeah.
that would be an ideal outcome for Cleveland, in my opinion.
Now, my
I think
now,
McCarthy's a good coach, but
You think so?
I do.
All right.
I think my dream scenario is I'm intrigued by Udinski. I just like listening to him talk about
get
the
it.
game.
He just
There,
wanted.
there was one thing that I saw, and again, I don't want to fall into the people I make fun of,
Right.
the Twitterverse, when they see these videos. But I did watch the one video where he explained everything he did when he was with O'Connell in Minnesota, and he explained, like, hey, listen, I was like an assistant. It sounded like my role wasn't really important. He's like, but let me tell you something. I literally was with O'Connell 24/7. Went to every meeting, like saw everything that a head coach does. So he kind of got like a firsthand bird's eye view of what a head coach has to be. And I think O'Connell's a pretty damn good head coach.
Yeah, I like
he
him
is.
too.
A guy that players really like to play for too.
You know a guy who I think is going to one day become a good head coach? Josh McCown.
Yeah,
I think he's right now, he's the quarterback coach for the Vikings, right? So he's learning directly under there.
Yeah.
One day, he's going to be a good candidate.
Out of that list, guys, who would you? We all say we're gonna give him a shot, but who, if the Browns pull up on you and tell you, hey, this is the Cleveland Browns, Jimmy is there, D, they got Andrew Berry. Which guy you gonna be like, man, I don't even know about this off that list?
Monken and Schwartz. I don't like
If
either
it
one.
Monken, I'd be like, okay. I think that's the only one. The rest of them, I'll be optimistic. But Monken.
I think Monken's just the one that I don't know.
How was the offense when he was here in 19? Was that Baker?
It was.
Yeah.
Didn't he,
Was
he
that
did,
Freddie
didn't he
Kitchens?
do well that year?
Was that Kitchens that year?
Yeah.
Hey, they,
Stefanski was hired in 20, so
yeah, dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
It didn't go.
Yeah,
Well, it didn't go well then.
Yeah, I would the monkey thing. I would be like, man, but I wouldn't be head over heels about it.
I think that's the only one. The rest of them I can see.
Even Jesse Minter, I'm like, okay, it's a defensive coordinator, defensive minded dude. If whoever they hire, if it's a defensive guy, I'm looking immediately to what are you doing at coordinator? What's
That's
that?
exactly what the question was going to be.
Because
If they hire Jesse Minter, he must really blow them away because they obviously want to keep Schwartz.
Right.
And he's the one guy. He's the guy least likely to have Schwartz stay here.
Mentor is young.
Yeah, and he's a defensive coach.
If they hire Mentor and they make Udinski the OC, how would you feel about
I'm
that?
fine with Udinski playing any role besides head coach here.
Okay. That's good.
That's fine. Make him an OC.
yeah, I agree. Like I agree with that. It's tough.
It's hard to believe a 30-year-old with that little experience has the ability to lead a whole team.
I'm intrigued by it because I know he didn't call the plays in Jacksonville,
Yeah.
but Jacksonville's offense was humming this year.
Right.
And believe it or not, I think, honestly, if they did go that route, it would be very interesting to see who would win the battle between Shador and Deshaun. I really believe like that could help Deshaun.
I think there's going to be somebody else in the mix, too.
It could be.
Well, we're gonna
Deshaun
talk
and
about a
Shador
possible
probably
guy.
would most definitely be in the mix.
Yeah.
But I think that if they did Udinski and ran that type of offense, I
Yeah.
think that would favor.
I'm what you talk. I am excited to see what it looks like with a new set of eyes.
But you got to have a lot more talent, too.
Oh, no.
You can place all the blame on Stefanski you want. The Browns have less talent on offense than probably any team in football.
This the project stockpile, dude. I need everybody.
Stockpile, we got nothing. The shelves are empty.
I need everything. Go,
Yeah.
listen,
You got a
raid the
lot to
cupboard.
get. You
You
can't
need a
fix it all in
regular
one year.
pile first before you start stockpiling.
Yeah, you got to.